Imagine getting a restraining order that keeps you from approaching people on your own property.
That's what happened to one Tuscaloosa County couple this morning as an energy company started a drilling operation on their land. CBS 42 News reporter Jamie Ostroff is looking into this story, and she joins us now in the studio with what she's learned. This is bizarre, Jamie.
It is, Sherry, and this is a legal battle between Kenneth and Loretta Kennedy and the Black Warrior Methane Corporation that goes back a few years. But today, things came to a head.
Ma'am, I have nothing to do with this.
Our cameras were rolling while the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office served Kenneth and Loretta Kennedy with a restraining order.
The mineral and mining rights.
Now the Kennedys can't mess with the energy company that's been on their property for quite some time.
I think what they're trying to accomplish is just don't go there.
Crews for the Black Warrior Methane Corporation are working on a drilling operation beneath the Kennedys' property. An operation the Kennedys say has ruined their land.
There was one really big one in here. There it is.
And their way of life.
When you moved to this area, for 25 years you had good drinking water, and then all of a sudden it started smelling like rotten eggs.
They're really pushing the limit to me. I mean, it's my property, and if I don't want them here, why are they here?
Lawyers for Black Warrior argue that all of this is legal. A complaint filed by the company says that while the Kennedys have the property rights to the land, Black Warrior has had the mineral rights for decades.
What kind of rights do you have? I mean, we bought the property, it's paid for, and then we don't have a right to say who can come on it and who can't? I mean, that don't make sense to me at all.
The Kennedys say they tried to sell their property to Black Warrior Methane, but they couldn't come to an agreement. Not to the same effect, the complaint does mention that the company tried to compensate the Kennedys. I left messages for Black Warrior and their attorneys. I'll continue to bring you some updates on this story once I get more answers from them. Jamie Ostroff, CBS 42 News.
Watch. Cops kick family off their own property so Big Oil can drill Brookwood, Alabama. A Brookwood, Alabama, couple is facing a fight all too familiar to the Standing Rock Sioux tribe in North Dakota, after a Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's deputy served them a restraining order prohibiting them from entering parts of their own property, because Big Oil wants to drill there. Kenneth and Loretta Kennedy have battled Black Warrior Methane Corporation for years in an attempt to preserve the integrity of their land and stop crews from drilling, but this injunction forbids the couple from interfering with the company's operations on their own property. According to local CBS 42, which witnessed the Kennedys being served the injunction, this battle over the 163 acres they purchased 27 years ago stretches all the way back to 2011. Black Warrior Methane has been working on a drilling operation beneath the Kennedys' land, which the couple says has ruined the property that stretches across more than 100 acres. That drilling, they say, has ruined the property the Kennedys used to draw water from several wells, but Black Warrior Methane's operations have contaminated that supply. For 25 years, you had good drinking water, Kenneth Kennedy, jug of murky brown water in hand, told CBS 42, and all of a sudden it starts smelling like rotten eggs. A few months ago, he says Black Warrior Methane Corporation approached him to drill on his land to remove dangerous methane gas 2,000 feet below in an untapped coal mine. If the gas is not removed, it could put miners at risk and potentially cause the mine to explode, according to Kennedy, who was a retired mine worker. Grasping that the company had plenty of funds at its disposal, and would likely try to undercut the worth of their land, the Kennedys attempted to negotiate a reasonable price for access. When negotiations failed, Black Warrior Methane sued the Kennedys for rights to their property, arguing it has and holds all of the rights of way, easements, waiver of damage and permission to conduct drilling operations, and reservation of mineral and mining rights. CBS 42 reports Black Warrior Methane claims in its complaint the couple doesn't actually own the mineral rights to their property, rather, the company doesn't has for decades. But the Kennedys, having purchased the land nearly 3 decades ago, don't understand the company's logic. We bought the property. It's paid for, Loretta Kennedy asserted. And then we don't have a right to say who can come on it and who can't? That don't make sense to me at all. To the state of Alabama, however, The couple's views their property as their own is a moot point. By law, any company possessing the mineral rights to someone's land has permission to drill underground without the owner's approval. Image http://pixel.watch/QUT7. Although Mr. Kennedy reluctantly concedes the company might have the right to drill on his land, but firmly believes he should be compensated accordingly. Black Warrior Methane says in its complaint, according to CBS 42, an effort was made to pay the Kennedys. This battle over who owns the land, who has the right to pillage it for resources, and who should be responsible if drinking water is contaminated, has come into sharp focus over the past year, particularly under the lens of treaty rights and the Standing Rock Sioux battle in North Dakota. What the Kennedys face might be a microcosm of that fight, but Big Oil has surreptitiously used the U.S. government's eminent domain to seize land rights under the guise of critical energy infrastructure. Despite that, intentions to export extracted and piped oil for profit would have nothing to do with breaking America of its dependence on foreign supply. Loretta Kennedy summarized the sentiments of those fighting the oil and gas industry, asking, "If I don't want them here, why are they here?" Image http://wp-content/wp-content/upload/2017/01/reantrum_300x250 text.jpg. Read more. Couple forced to destroy 40O pond on their own property because government owns the rainwater. Read more at http://thefreethought project.com/cops-property-big-oil-order/#erm46C8747XXWL.99